The Save the Ocean line of Seiko diver has been hugely successful but has been kept at the lower end of the lineup. Until now, that is. Today, we have the new Save the Ocean Arctic Edition done in the marinemaster 200 line. Let's look at it. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any reviews, head-to-head or quick time. And follow me on Instagram and come along with me on my watch collecting journey. The previous Save the Ocean watch I reviewed was the Great White Shark edition, done on a turtle and a samurai. That watch launched my interest in automatic watches and Seiko alike. Fast forward 3 years, multiple models has been launched under the Seiko Save the Ocean sub-brand. Needless to say, each one was received with much fanfare because each had a unique dial, execution, and design. This year, Seiko launched yet another Save the Ocean line. This time though, they moved it up to their mid-tier divers. More specifically, the diver reinterpretation line, which includes the 62 MAS, the Captain Willet, and the 6195 reinterpretation, or as is commonly known today as the marinemaster 200. Let's take a closer look at this watch. The case design and execution on this one is a big step up from the previous generation of marinemaster 200 I reviewed earlier. It is also a big step towards becoming a real marinemaster 300 reduced. It seems Seiko just shrunk the marinemaster 300 case, slapped on a new dial and a new movement, put in a new handset, gave it to the apprentice of the Zaratsu masters, and called it a day. Looking at the case from this angle, we can break it down into 4 surfaces, each at different depth. The top surface receives a fine brushing that is a step closer to the marinemaster. Below that, we have a mirror polished case side that fly out and is broken up by a slim horizontal brush band before the case tucks back in on itself. The last surface is again mirror polished, but not to the same degree as the second surface. If you have watched my marinemaster 300 review, you would realize I basically just said the same thing. The case is simply just a reduced marinemaster 300, which is a good thing, because it is a beautiful case paired with a beautiful execution and a beautiful dial. I have to say that bringing this case design to a more affordable price and an approachable size is most likely a dream come true for many Seiko fans who can't or wouldn't want to buy a big and expensive marinemaster 300. Flipping the watch back, we see a screw-down case back that we are familiar with. This one has an additional special edition text at the bottom of the wave emblem. Turning the watch over, we are greeted with a new style of Seiko crystal. This style of crystal was also found on the 5KX GMT I reviewed earlier. The edge of the crystal is chamfered and angled down into the bezel. The angled nature of the crystal allows it to reflect the hash marks on the dial to form a chapter ring. This could either be cost-saving method used by Seiko or just clever design. Or worst, both. We will never know. Oh, by the way, it is also of course a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside as is expected from this price. The crown on this watch is a simple Seiko affair. It is unsigned and can be found at the 4 o'clock, slightly tucked into the case. The first position, after unscrewing it, winds the watch. Second, changes the date, and third, hacks the movement and adjusts the time. Winding and threading the crown feels good on this one. Zooming in on the dial is where we can find the hero of this watch. I'll quote myself from a post I made on Watch Crunch. Follow me there if you haven't already. The dial here really resembles, in my opinion, the ice caps in Antarctica breaking off, signifying the threat we all face: global warming. The texture captures the essence of that phenomenon. It is like looking at a photo of a freshly broken off ice wall on your wrist. You get 2 distinct emotions when you're looking at this dial: the awe from the beautiful texture and the woe from the looming threat to human existence, both coming together to create a beautifully melancholic watch. Adding to that, the dial also receives a metallic finish, making it shimmer and dances as light reflects off of it. The handset is also quite exquisite on this one. Both the hour and the minute hand are pencil style hands. The hour hand is slightly stubbier and shorter, while the minute hand is long and slender. Both receives a dual finish, with one side receiving a fine brushing and the other a nice polishing. The second hands is the same style found on the marinemaster 300 and other mid-tier divers. One difference is the baby blue color pip, which brings harmony to the dial. Everything blends together without getting lost in each other, and legibility is high on this one. The markers seems applied with shiny silver surrounds. I say seems applied because I can't confirm whether it is or it's not. I've heard rumors that Seiko has moved away from press markers on these watches? Comment below if you have any information on that. Anyways, they are the regular circular and rectangular markers we usually find in this range, with the exception of the 12-hour marker being a V-shape, giving the marinemaster 200 a unique marker set from the 62 MAS and the Captain Willard. Overall, the dial is quite dynamic, and don't expect to be under the radar wearing this watch. People are gonna notice it. The lume here is also the usual Seiko affairs in terms of brightness and color, but long-lasting as previous Seikos, it is not. Moving on to the dimension and movement within this watch. This watch has a diameter of 42mm, a thickness of 12.5mm, a lug-to-lug of 48.8mm, and lug width of 20mm. It houses the 6R35 movement, which has about 70 hours of power reserve, 24 joules, and beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It has been running fine for me, just a couple of seconds fast per day, which is very acceptable. The bezel on this watch is a darker shade of blue than the dial, subduing the flashiness, but not by much, because it receives the same treatment as the tuner, wherein the insert is probably aluminum or stainless steel with some unknown proprietary coating. And this coating makes the bezel insert quite shiny. The hash marks are done in white, with the 12 o'clock marker being done as a triangle with a lume pip in the middle. As for the sound of the bezel, let's hear it. What do you think? Compared to the bracelet from the Great White Shark edition, this is a huge step up. It also seems to receive the super hard coating found on the case as well. It is a 3-link style bracelet. The outer links are fully brushed, while the middle link receives mixed finishes. The mid link has 3 facets, with the top receiving fine brushing like the outer links, and the inner sloping facets receiving a polish. The clasp is a 3-fold clasp that is milled and locks with a fold-over security flap. It is an update and the standard for mid-tier Seiko divers nowadays. On the wrist, it wears similar to other Seiko divers of similar size. This is all again thanks to the short lug-to-lug distance and the polishing found on the case side that reflects part of your wrist, making it appear small. On to the negatives. I have 2 to report on this particular sample. The first and most common, the bezel misalignment. Let's not rehash what we have been saying for the past 3 years and move on to the second gripe. The second gripe is the misalignment of the hour hand. Yes, these two can be easily fixed by a watchmaker, but I expect better from a watch that retails at $1,500 period. Overall, a very well done watch from Seiko. Everything from the dial, case execution, and bracelet is a definite step up from the previous generation, especially when you factor in the fact that you will get a discount on these from the AD themselves. But Seiko really need to up the QC game, because when we look at a Swiss equivalent with the same or similar retail price, the QC of Seiko is far behind. And that comparison is coming soon on this channel. So stay tuned for my next video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this review with your friends. Follow me on Instagram, and see you next time. Peace.